Good. Dear students, once again I am in front of you to discuss about the wave theory of radiation. So, day before yesterday I have discussed the wave theory of radiation. Today I will discuss the limitations of the wave theory of radiation. And what is limitations? That means the problem or the phenomenon which is not explained by wave theory of radiation. That today we will discuss. You know that you have already studied this wave theory of radiation explains the phenomenon of interference. It is known to you. This wave theory of radiation, which is given by Maxwell, that is also explains the phenomena of diffraction also. So this wave theory explains the phenomena of interference and phenomena of deflection. So due to wave theory, these two things are explained. Or the certain things which is happening with the radiant energy. So these are the things which we are discussing about the radiant energy. We are not talking about any other thing. So when we talk about the radiant energy, in that case interference, diffraction has been explained by wave theory. But the radiant energy has got certain more phenomenon also which is not explained by this wave theory of radiation. What are those? First is the black body radiation. Black body radiation, that means emission of radiation from hot bodies. What is this black body radiation? Emission of radiation from hot bodies. What is black body? First of all, we should know what is black body. It's an ideal body. It's an ideal body which is a perfect absorber and emitter of light. So there are ideal body which is a perfect emitter and perfect absorber of energy. What is perfect emitter and perfect absorber? Perfect emitter and perfect absorber means it absorbs every wavelength of energy. Energy have got various wavelengths, so it will absorb all energy having different wavelengths. All the possible wavelengths of energy, all the possible energy having different wavelength, all the possible energy having different wavelength and different frequency can be absorbed by black body. So black body absorbs every kind of energy, every kind of energy. That means energy having different kind of wavelength and frequency it absorbs. At the same time, black body has got the same capability to release or to radiate the energy of every wavelength or every energy. So black body is a body which accepts or absorbs every kind of energy having different wavelength and energy. Black body have got a capability to radiate or release energy having different wavelength and frequency. So black body is the ideal body which absorbs all the lights into it, all the light energy, all other energy, not only light energy but every kind, even the ultraviolet, infrared, beyond ultraviolet, beyond infrared, everything, all the radiation's energy can be absorbed by black body and all the radiation energy can be released by black body. So this is the ideal body. So that is why the special name is given black body, hence which will absorb all the energy. Why the special name black is given? Because when entire white light is absorbed, then there will be no color, then it will appear black. When you know that a white color is made up of seven colors, when all the seven colors are absorbed by a certain body, then no color will be reflected back, so it will not be visible, so it will appear black. And this black, and there are certain which reflects all the, that time it will glow in a white light. When black body radiates all the energy at the all the seven colors at the same time, at that time this black body appears white. So this is the black body. Okay. Now next is the photoelectric effect. Photoelectric effect, that means ejection of electron from metal surface when radiation strikes. You know metal has got a capability to release electron. We define only how to identify metal. The element which has got capability to donate electron are known as metal. but different metal have got different ionization energy to release the electron. All metal have got tendency to donate the electron, but there are metal which release electron very easily. So we carry out this photoelectric effect with those kind of metal which releases electrons very easily in the presence of sunlight. So we say that photoelectric effect. So when light energy falls over the surface of the metal, it will release the electrons. When it will continuously release the electron, it will form a stream of electron, and that will be called as current, electricity. Now next is variation of heat capacity of solid as a function of temperature. So different solid, you have got iron, you have got a stone, you have got magnesium, you have got gold. Supply heat energy, same amount of heat energy you supply, you will observe that they develop different temperature. Same amount, you take the same amount of gold, same amount of that means whatever sample you will take, gold, silver, iron, magnesium, or any other, like you can take the stones also, big stone. You take the same amount of all these samples, supply the same amount of energy to all these things, okay, but they will develop different temperature. Although you have supplied the same amount of energy to each and every sample, but it develops different temperature. That means it has got different capacity to absorb the energy. So what is this heat capacity? Heat capacity is the holding capacity of heat energy. That means a particular substance which can hold heat energy inside their body without raising its temperature. That is called heat capacity. Now entire heat capacity, that heat capacity is now when you supply the heat energy, first it will absorb the energy, it will store inside it, and then it will start releasing heat energy. So that will appear as a temperature. So certain substance has got more heat energy to increase the temperature. Certain substance require more energy to increase the temperature of that substance. So that is the heat capacity, that how much energy it can absorb. Like you can take the water. Water has got the highest although it is not solid, I am giving you the heat capacity. So heat capacity of the water is the highest in this universe. So much huge quantity of heat energy it can store, and it will not raise much temperature in it. So even the chilled water has got huge quantity of heat energy inside it. Even the normal water has got very huge quantity of heat energy inside it. So water is considered to have the highest heat capacity in this universe. So like that, different substances have got the different capability to hold the energy, to store the energy inside it. That is called heat capacity. And last is the line spectra of the atom. In the previous lecture we have said we got a continuous spectrum. Example is the rainbow. Rainbow develops due to the total internal reflection. You have studied in physics, due to the total internal reflection it creates a rainbow. A rainbow is the example of continuous spectra. Why say continuous spectra? Because there is no separation between the colors. It is a band of colors. In the band of color, different colors are not separated perfectly. That means there is no perfect boundary between the colors. But when you get the same spectra for an atom, then you will get a spectrum in which the boundary of each and every color will be defined. That will be distinct boundary of each and every color. So when you get the spectrum with a distinct boundary for each and every color in that spectrum, then such type of spectra is known as line spectra. So these are the four phenomena which is not explained by this black body and this wave theory of radiation. So first we will discuss the black body radiation. So I have already defined the black body, and here in this chapter we will discuss only these two, black body radiation and photoelectric effect. and the spectra of atoms we will discuss. The variation of the heat capacity we will discuss in another chapter, that is called solid state. In that, the states of matter, in that chapter we will discuss the third one. In this chapter we will discuss only these three, 1, 2, 3. So black body radiation, I have already started discussing it. So what are the observations? Now we have already explained what is the black body. Now what is black body radiation? So the radiation or the energy released, the radiation emitted by black body is known as black body radiation. The radiation emitted by black body is called black body radiation. So very simple. If you know the black body, then there is no problem in understanding the black body radiation. Radiation emitted by black body is known as black body radiation. In this black body radiation, we are going to take any black body. Take up any black body, you heat it. So this black body, first it will get converted into red. If you still heat it, this red color will get converted into yellow. Okay? Still if you heat it, this yellow color will be converted into white. Still if you heat it, then this white color will get converted into purple. So as you are increasing the temperature, as you are increasing the heat energy, that means you are increasing the temperature. So as you are increasing the heat energy, that means increasing the temperature. So as the heat energy or temperature increases, the color of the black body changes from red to yellow, yellow to white, white to purple. Now observe this. What is happening here? What we are doing? We are doing, temperature is increasing. With the rise in the temperature, you can see wavelength is decreasing. Here the wavelength is the minimum, here the maximum wavelength in this case. So wavelength, maximum wavelength, then decreases, then decreases, then decreases. So here we can observe with the rise in the temperature, wavelength is decreasing and you can see the frequency increasing. Wavelength and frequency has got the inverse relation, so wavelength decreases, so frequency increases. In this phenomenon, with the rise in the temperature, wavelength decreases, frequency increases. You observe this. Why? Because this one has got the highest frequency and this one has got the lowest frequency here. So frequency is increasing, wavelength is decreasing, and temperature we are increasing. So here we can say, what does it mean? That means here which is responsible? Which is responsible for increase in the frequency distribution, the energy distribution? Which is responsible? Temperature. Intensity is increasing. So which is responsible here? Temperature. But here wavelength is changing, frequency is changing. Wavelength is changing, frequency is changing. So which one is responsible to increase in the intensity here? Temperature. Which one is responsible here? Temperature. So that means with the rise in the temperature, intensity is increasing, no problem. But with the rise, because for intensity, wavelength is not responsible, frequency is not responsible, because one is increasing, other is decreasing. So these two could not be responsible for the rise in the intensity. As the temperature increases, intensity increases. As the temperature increases, intensity increases. So intensity is increasing, that is directly proportional to the temperature in this case. So this is the observation. Now I will take up another observation. So when we are increasing the temperature, intensity is increasing due to the rise in temperature. Here we increase the temperature, then wavelength is decreasing, frequency is increasing. So these two are opposing factor. These two cannot be responsible for increase in the intensity. Since temperature is increasing, as well intensity is increasing, so that's why the temperature is solely responsible for the increase in the intensity of the light. So intensity of light. Okay. Now same intensity will be observed at a constant temperature. At a constant temperature. And for this process, we will take two different temperatures. It will take two different temperature, and at that two different temperature, we will observe the change in the intensity. We will observe the change in the intensity. Suppose that we have taken the two temperature T1 and T2. T2 is greater than T1. That means T2 temperature is greater than T1. So T1 is at lower temperature, T2 is. So first we will observe the change in the intensity at temperature T1. So temperature will remain constant. So at constant temperature now we are observing the intensity. So at constant temperature when we are observing the intensity, then what we find that with the rise in the wavelength, here what observation we are taking? With the rise in the wavelength, first intensity increases and reaches to maximum. With the rise in the wavelength, or if you can say from this side if you study, with the decrease in the wavelength, intensity increases and reaches to maximum. Once it reaches to maximum, although wavelength is decreasing, but the intensity starts decreasing after the maximum. From this side if you consider, with the rise in the wavelength, intensity increases, reaches to maximum, and after reaching the maximum, although wavelength is increasing, but intensity starts decreasing and decreases continuously to the lowest intensity. So again same thing is observed at temperature T2. So change in the intensity at lower temperature is less, but change in the intensity at high temperature is more. Change in intensity at higher temperature is more, but the pattern will remain same. You can see at temperature T2 we are starting the change in the intensity. You can see with the rise in the wavelength, intensity starts increasing. With the wavelength increasing, this intensity starts increasing. At this place, maximum intensity we have got. After reaching the maximum intensity, although wavelength is increasing, but intensity now starts decreasing. And decreases and reaches to some point. So that means wavelength is not accountable for the intensity. That means this graph explains that wavelength is not responsible for the intensity. Wavelength is not responsible for intensity because sometimes initially intensity increases, the rise in the wavelength reaches to maximum, even after that wavelength is still increasing but intensity decreases. So this observation tells you that there is no direct relationship between intensity and wavelength. So wavelengths are not responsible for the change in the intensity. This graph will tell you that. But this phenomenon is not explained by classical wave theory given by Maxwell, because according to wave theory, energy is directly proportional to frequency, and frequency has got relation with the wavelength. So the intensity should have depend upon the intensity. Since we have maintained the temperature, and we know that frequency depends upon the temperature, increase the temperature, frequency is increased. So the temperature and frequency has got a direct relation. So here temperature constant, that means frequency should have remained constant. If the frequency remain constant, wavelength should have remained constant. According to classical theory, at the same temperature, because when temperature rises, frequency rises. So if the temperature remain constant, frequency will remain constant. If frequency remain constant, then wavelength would remain constant. So what happened? That means at a constant temperature, wavelength should have remained constant. But it is not happening. It is not happening in this experiment. According to classical Maxwell, it should have, wavelength should have remained same. Although intensity might change. Intensity might change, but wavelength should have remained same. Intensity might change, but wavelength should have remained same. According to which theory? Classical wave theory. So that means this black body radiation phenomenon is not explained by classical wave theory. To explain this, we need certain other theory which we'll discuss later. Okay, now I'll discuss the second one, that is the photoelectric effect. So this is the photoelectric effect. So photoelectric effect is what? It is a phenomenon in which electrons are ejected. Photoelectric effect is nothing but photo means light, photoelectron means electron released by light. So there are metal in this universe over which a certain kind of energy having a sufficient energy, certain kind of energy having a sufficient frequency, when falls over the surface of the matter, it ejects the electron. This ejected electron is known as photoelectron. So the phenomenon in which electrons are ejected when the certain light energy having sufficient frequency falls over metal surface, it ejects the electron. This is called photoelectric effect. Photo. So now the photoelectric effect are not shown by each and every metal. Photoelectric effect are not shown by each and every metal in this universe. Very few metals show this photoelectric effect. Very few metals show this effect, whose ionization energy is very less. The metal whose ionization energy are less, that means to eject the electron, very less quantity of energy is required. Those metal only will show photoelectric effect. In which we can take the example of calcium, Caesium, calcium. It has got the least ionization enthalpy. Calcium has got least ionization enthalpy. That means it has got the it needs lowest amount of energy to eject the electrons from its surface. So that is why in most of the cases in solar light system calcium is used, because it needs very less quantity of light energy to eject the electron. So that is why cesium is preferred. Okay, but we can make other metal also as a exhibiting photoelectric effect. We can prescribe, we can compel other metal also to show the photoelectric effect, but it is only possible when we need ultraviolet rays. Only the under the action of ultraviolet light only. Under the action of ultraviolet light only, other metal which generally does not show any photoelectric effect, it will show photoelectric effect, but under the influence of ultraviolet light, ultraviolet rays. But in a visible light, only those metals will show the photoelectric effect whose ionization energy is very less. Okay, that's all for today. We will discuss further thing in the next lecture. Thank you. We will write it. Okay, bye.